Sharon Curtin, and in this episode of the Health Coach Show, I'm talking to Caitlin Cotter, all about the coaching competency of being calm, present, and emotionally available. Caitlin's a health coach and a graduate of Accredited Health Coaching Australia. She's a mental fitness coach as well as a weight management practitioner. We're going to be talking about why being present is so important and also give you some tips about how you can be more calm, present, and emotionally available in your consultations. So Caitlin and I are going to be talking about one of the coaching competencies, which is to be calm, present, and emotionally available. So the way that this coaching competency translates is that when we start a session with our clients, we are calm, we're present, we're emotionally available. And that means that, we've turned off anything that might distract us. We've stopped thinking about what's for dinner or lunch or the client that was before us, and we have created a space for our clients where there are no distractions, where it's calm, and where they know that they can be present and we'll be present with them. And so part of that might also be learning some techniques such as meditation or breathing or some of the other techniques that Caitlin's going to take us through, which will help to calm us down and focus us for the session that we're about to have with our client, or even during our session with our client. So Caitlin, you're studying positive intelligence. So what are some techniques that coaches can use to really kind of ground themselves and be ready to start a session with a client?
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. It's really interesting, and a lot of coaches I find are busy. They're coming straight from one client to another, or they're doing something and they're sitting down and it's just bang, 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 bang. And it's really interesting. It only takes like a couple of minutes, and the difference that it can make can be profound in where you are sitting in yourself, and therefore what you can provide and what you can be for your client in really creating that space. And it really depends on what you find as a coach works for you. It can be a breathing technique. It can be a visual technique. It can be a hearing technique. It can be a feeling technique that really puts you back in your body and grounds you and makes you mindful. And you know what? Mindfulness is just being focused and being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. And so it's just really being in your body. And it's interesting because, and often we might find clients come in and they're like, oh my God, and it's this, and I'm about this, and there's this. And then we're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And then that's where we start. And we're really sort of sitting outside ourselves, or we're not listening and there's so much going on. And so we're sort of in this sort of mini stress response. And so what we do is when we feel our chest and our abdomen rise and fall with our breath, we're signaling to the brain that that threat is over. And it instantly stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also the rest and digest, which switches the threat response activation to a sense of calm. So, and because as coaches, we're leading that, it's really up to us to initiate that sense straight away. And so therefore our clients will do that as well. So again, it can be breathing. And would you like me to take you through some, Sharon? My favorites?
I would absolutely love that, Caitlin.
So my favorite is eyes open. And the first thing is just to take some breaths. Some deep breaths to start with, 2 breaths. So in and out. And again, in and out. And then I really like to just feel my body sitting on the chair. So feel your back against the chair, feel your feet on the ground, and just get a sense of your body. And then when your eyes are open, you can just look at something in front of you, and that could be me. That could be a computer, that could be something on the table, and just intensely look at that one thing. And that's looking at the texture, looking at the colors, looking at the shapes. And if any thoughts come, just let them go. And just feel how your focus and your intent is coming to sit deeper inside yourself. And then just be aware of your breathing. You can even feel the air going in your nostrils and the temperature of air going out of your nostrils. And just feel your breath and your body. And the great thing about this, and you can open your eyes when you're ready, and again, you can keep your eyes open or closed. And the great thing about this is, although you can do it before a session, which really helps, you can also do it during the session. And that is whenever you're feeling stuck or not sure where to go with a client, you can use this. Also, you can help you drop down into that level 3 listening that we talk about so much. So we get from like what's going on superficially, we can really tune into our clients more and see what was really going on underneath their words. You can feel their feelings more. You can feel their thoughts more. And it really creates a space for healing and intensity and depth. And also, which is one of the most important things, it preserves our energy being the coach. That we can sit in, we're not giving the energy of ourselves, we're allowing ourselves to really be full and giving to ourselves while we can be there for our clients. How are you feeling, Sharon?
Yeah. So, even just the 2 breaths, I could feel just brought me straight back, really present, just that, that delicious air. I had a meditation teacher talk about it. Well, one more breath of, that delicious air. And I thought, I never thought of air as delicious, but even just that, and what's that? Like 10 seconds of breathing can already have you feeling in your body, this is what I'm about, letting go. It's almost when you breathe out, you really do let go of, the client that was gone, who's just gone, and bringing yourself right back to, being present for the client in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. And as we develop this little habit between each client, it almost becomes a conditioning. So that's just what we do. And therefore it becomes automatic. And it's like, there's this recentering. Oh, there's this recentering. Oh, there's this recentering at any time. And then what I find is that you actually start doing it throughout the day, or even when you're cooking dinner or when you're talking to someone, it's like there's this automatically, I've got that. That's what I go to if I find myself, being scattered or out there. It's like, okay, come back.
So when we've got a client, as you said, sometimes our clients might come in and they've been rushing to get a car park, or, they had to get petrol on the way, or something's made them run late, and they can come in and we can feel that they're kind of. And so how can we use these techniques with our clients to help kind of bring them down so that they can get the most out of coaching too?
Yeah, that's a really great point. And as coaches, I think it is our responsibility just to say, hang on, let's just stop for a minute. Would it be helpful? I can see you're a little bit frazzled or a bit stressed. Would it be helpful if we did some recentering or breathing or mindfulness techniques? Again, we're always asking clients if that would be helpful to them. And when I do it with my clients, at first they're like, yeah. But then it's like, oh, wow. And you can really notice that change of energy. And then there's this depth and, and then it feels like there's this fullness that comes to the coaching session. And it's so much more rewarding and there's a real deeper exploration.
Yeah. And I love what you said about just making it a practice. So it's just, you don't think, oh, and that's what we do, right? Like we rush from one to the next. I used to do clinics and I would never did this between one, and I would find that I would be so burnt out by the end. Whereas I can see how, when you just recenter, it just re-energizes you to, almost put that line in the sand between what's been before and what is coming. And so you can just be fully there.
Yeah, and you can also have some little cues, like have a little routine. It's like, oh, I've got my drink of water. I organize my pens on my paper, and just those little things that can just help those, cue responses, that just conditioning to, okay. And, it's like, right, 2 minutes, or, that's all it takes. 2 minutes just between clients. If I'm busy, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, wash my hands, whatever those things are for you. And then it's like, okay, what do I love the most? Is it breathing? What senses? Is it seeing? Is it feeling? Is it here? All the different senses that you can just go to, and it's like, okay, now I'm present. Everything else can leave. The last client's gone, the next client's walking in, and I'm going to give everything that I've got.
Yeah. And I love smells. So your idea of the ritual, I'm like, right, I love that. So you could be like, right, my pencils are, I've got my pen and my paper ready, my drink bottles. I've just had a sip because I'm terrible at that. Have a sip of water, take a sniff of my favorite essential oil, and do some breathing, and then be like, yep, I'm ready. So I really love that idea of turning it into a ritual.
Yeah, and sometimes I also like that lo-fi music as well, just in the background. And because I have a tendency to get a bit scattered, and a bit like my energy lifts up, and I find that one is just something that really just brings me down and going, okay, just relax into it. You've got this.
Yeah. And so when we create that space for a client that's calm, we're calm, the space is calm, we help them to be calm, then we know that we can all be fully present. So it's a real, as you said, it's the role of the coach. And it's also a real gift that we can give our clients to get the most out of their coaching session.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about it is that no one else knows that you're doing this, that you can be fully engaged in a meeting or in a session or something that's high stress, and you can be going, I'm doing my mindfulness techniques. I'm really looking at you. I'm looking at the client, what's interesting about them, what's beautiful, what's fascinating. It just brings that beautiful curiosity into that as well. And, it could be in the positive intelligence, there's a lot of senses. So it's like just touching your hands together, or so it can be really powerful.
Yeah. So it's all about self-regulation, self-regulating ourselves and helping our clients to self-regulate.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really, it initiates that client energy as well. So when we're centered in ourselves and we're sitting at a deeper space, you can really feel that their energy changes as well. And you can feel that, that shift.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Thank you for those great tips. And I'm sure that we can encourage all of our coaches to find the thing that works for them, whether it's breathing, whether it's smells, whether it's, senses, and really make that recentering part of their routine.
Yeah. And even to try it out with your clients in the first couple of minutes and just see if that makes a difference for the session going forward as well.
Yeah, great idea. Thanks for listening. I hope you've got some useful tips that you can take straight into your consultations. So at Accredited Health Coaching, we love training others in the skills of behaviour change. So head over to our website, accreditedhealthcoaching.com.au. You'll find our courses, we have a free webinar, and you can also find more episodes of the podcast.